Thank you, Miss Martine, for having us. I hear that you all are in second grade, and you've had about 4 weeks of second grade so far, right? Is it more fun than first grade?
Yes.
Don't worry, they would say the same thing if you weren't here. Who can tell me, maybe could two people tell me what has been your favorite thing about second grade so far?
I would say getting to do class dojo every day.
Class dojo. We love class dojo, my family.
Every day. Class dojo, lunch, and
so good. I have two kids who go to a different Boston public school in Roslindale at the Sumner School. They're in first grade and third grade, so you guys are right in the middle. What's your favorite thing? Yeah.
My sister goes there.
Oh,
Two of my
nice.
sisters.
What grades are they in?
First grade and first grade.
They're both first grade. It's nice, the whole family is here. Okay, so before I get into this very special book that we brought today, we wanted to, it's a really fun time for me to be here because we have a long weekend, so we're after school today, no school as usual on Saturday and Sunday, but also no school on Monday. Does anyone know why? Yes, why? Do you know what day it is on Monday?
not quite, because I used to be smart, but not.
You are, I can see it. You are very, very smart.
Yeah, because there's no school on Mondays because it's Memorial Day.
Almost. Memorial Day is a different day. But on Monday, does anyone know? It starts with an I. Do you know? Indigenous Peoples Day.
Oh my God.
Great job. It's a long word. And what does, the word indigenous is very advanced for second grade. So that's very impressive that you all know it. Does anyone know what indigenous means?
It means the first people to be on that country.
That's right.
Will be on the planet.
For 3,000 years and more. Almost
I thought it
forever.
was 12,000.
Yeah, probably.
16,000.
And I'm here with the incredible leaders like Amira and Raquel, who work every single day, not just on Monday, to make sure that all of our community members in Boston not only remember the history of these lands and who took care of them for a long, long time before we were here, but also that our indigenous neighbors and friends are still here in Boston leading the way and making sure that they're continuing to take care of all of our communities now also. So why don't we read the book, and then I want to invite up everyone after that to see if there's any questions for the whole group. Yeah, one last thing.
One thing. I read a book about you, and it said that you planted a whole garden.
Oh.
At school.
Which school was it?
I forget, but it was like, no, it wasn't a school, it was like a park.
Oh, we have planted a lot of gardens in Boston, trees and also different gardens. We want to try to have vegetable gardens and flower gardens so everyone can be connected to the land. Okay, all right, last thing, now I'm going to jump right
What about fruit gardens?
Yes, we just opened a couple months ago, we opened what is called a food forest in Mattapan. And it has fruit trees and fruit bushes, berry bushes, and it's open for anyone to be able to come in and take care of the plants, but also then when they start having the fruit come out, then you can collect that and share it with the community also. Some of the fruit trees, it takes a long time for them to grow tall enough that they start having fruit come out. So
They need a lot of water too.
they need a lot of water too. People taking care of them. Okay, can anyone see this and tell me what this book is called? Berry Song. Good job. Berry Song by Michaela Goad. Okay, this is before the book starts. A note to the forager. Do you know what a forager is?
No.
Yeah.
What would you
It's
say?
like a present.
What do you think?
I think someone who would like stuff. Like indigenous people wouldn't be able to make big buildings like this. They would just make stuff out of. They wouldn't know how to make tools to make materials like brick or cobblestone. They would just have to make it out of sticks.
Well,
like a camping and rock.
Forage means to look around, and usually it's about looking around for food and gathering food from sometimes in the forest, sometimes other places. And a long time ago, many communities and people who were living in the forest would do that for food. Today, indigenous communities are actually the first peoples who even invented tools and other things and passed that on so that everybody could know how to do that. So, and today there are many examples of how our indigenous communities are building lots of buildings and doing lots of things just alongside every one of you all. Okay, so a note to the forager, meaning a note to someone who's going to go through and look for the food and gather things up. Please only gather berries and other wild foods that you and an experienced adult can identify beyond a doubt. There are many toxic lookalikes. So that means if you're out in the forest by yourself, you don't just eat anything that you see, because some of them might be good, and then some of them might actually make you sick. Okay. Can everyone see if I hold it like this?
Yeah.
Okay. On an island at the edge of a wide, wild sea, Grandma shows me how to live on the land. Together, we pull hemlock branches from the salty ocean, heavy with herring eggs like tiny stars. So it looks like they're putting the branches in the water, and then there are eggs that come on them, and then when you gather it up, then you can eat those eggs. On the beach, we gather ribbons of slippery seaweed dancing in the tide. By the tumbling, icy falls, we dip our nets for silvery salmon hidden beneath the current. What's salmon? Does anyone know? Yes.
It's a fish that's most people eat.
Some kind of fish, so they use
And
the
it
nets to
goes
catch
up
those.
river and down river.
So they were gathering
It
some
has
eggs.
eggs in the island, and the next generation is born.
There are some eggs, there are some plants like seaweed, and then fish as well. And now they're out of the water. And in the forest, we pick berries. Salmonberry, cloudberry, blueberry, nagoonberry, huckleberry, soapberry, strawberry, crowberry. The berries sing to us, glowing like little jewels. We sing too, so berry and bear know we are here. Why do they need to let the bear know they're there? Yeah, so the bear doesn't get scared and he knows that they're there and we can all be in the forest together. Grandma tells me we speak to the land, as the land speaks to us, I say. Huckleberry, soapberry, strawberry, crowberry, thimbleberry, swampberry, bogberry, chalkberry. The forest sings to us through misting rains and the whoosh of wing, the sweet smell of cedar and the tickle of moss. Have you all seen moss before? What does it feel like?
It's like
Kind of soft and a little bit ticklish it can be. We sing too, so the land knows we are grateful. Grandma tells me we take care of the land, as the land takes care of us. Guanochish, I say, giving thanks. Thimbleberry, swampberry, bogberry, chalkberry, lingonberry, raspberry, bunchberry, cranberry. Our ancestors sing to us, their voices dancing on wind and water. We sing too, so they know that we'll always remember. What are ancestors?
people from long generations ago.
That we came from, right? And we sing for the future, so that all will hear and all will know this beautiful berry song. Grandma tells me we are a part of the land. What do you think she's going to say?
She's gonna say we're a part of the sea.
See, she says, as the land is a part of us, I say. The ocean, speaking of the sea, the ocean sings to us, rolling ashore like a beating drum. We sing too, so the tides know we are home. It's where they belong, right? Where all people belong. Together, we make salmonberry syrup and cranberry marmalade until the kitchen glows like a summer sky. We feast on huckleberry pie and strawberry crisp, raspberry scones and freshly whipped soap berries. We share gifts of blueberry jelly and nagoonberry jam. Guanochesh, we say, giving thanks. So they took all the berries they gathered and they made all of these yummy things from it. The nights grow long, edged in frost, as sea fades gently into sky. The forest is resting. The forest is dreaming, waiting for berry song. And so, the seasons change. On an island at the edge of a wide, wild sea, I take my little sister's hand. Lingonberry, raspberry, bunchberry, cranberry, salmonberry, cloudberry, blueberry, nagoonberry. And she says to her sister, I have so much to show you. Do you like that book?
Yes.
Thank you for reading it with me. I want to invite up our friends. Maybe we can bring in a couple chairs up here too and see if you all want to talk a little more. What did the book make you think of?
So, one of my favorite memories is going home to my grandmother's house, all the way in a place called North Dakota. That it's a little house, and it's on a lot of land, and we have a lake that we can look at from our porch. But when you go out onto the land, I do exactly what this book was talking about. And one of my favorite berries are called June berries in some places. You can also find elderberries. You can find raspberries. You can find plums. And the plums on that land are kind of small, like the size of these circles on the button, smaller than those buttons. And then after we gather them, we do all types of things just like in that book. We boil them down, we make jam, we make pies, we freeze them for later, and we also split them up so that everyone in our family can have some. So if someone else doesn't have berries on their land, we can go over to their home and make sure that they have some berries as well, or have some pies or jam. So that's what I thought about.
That's a really good memory. My community I'm walking off, which is located on that island, and I'm actually going to be going home on Tuesday to celebrate a day that we call Cranberry Day. And it's always the day after Indigenous Peoples Day. And what we do is we pick our cranberries, and they sit in bogs. You know what bogs are? Just these areas that grow tons of cranberries in the water. There's a little bit of water. They're usually near dunes. You know what dunes are?
Sand dunes.
Yeah, they grow right in the center of sand dunes. It's really beautiful. And we pick them, and then we have a celebration at the end of the night. And we make something with those cranberries, or we freeze them, or we make jellies with them. I like to make cranberry sauce for Thanksgiving and share it with my family. But I also grew up around blueberries and blackberries and raspberries. I grew up around so many wonderful fruits, and I'm so lucky. Yes, strawberries are very local to New England, and they're usually really much smaller than the ones you see at the stores sometimes because they're coming from a different area, but they're really small, but they're really sweet and delicious. It depends. I mean, New England can have really small ones. big ones. Depends on the fruit, or the berry, I guess. But, you know, like maize has blueberries just like we do here in Massachusetts, but their blueberries are a little bit bigger usually.
I used to have blackberries at my house for the refrigerator, but now I ran out and there's no more. Now we have shrimp.
Shrimp. Well, that's good too.
Yeah, those are very yummy and healthy.
No, only have shrimp. It's the only thing in the house. Yeah. What's the one they call it that?
Baseball?
Yeah.
Well, Wampanoag people our communities, we have two communities, and we're on Cape Cod, which is going south in Massachusetts from Boston. It's still in Massachusetts. And then on Martha's Vineyard, at the top of the island, it's called Aquinnah, and that's where another Wampanoag community is. Yeah, and we both live near different types of cranberry farms and different types of berry bushes, and we're very, very, very lucky.
Some of what we're thinking about today and in the book and all this is that the earth was here a long, long time before any of us were here, right? And so to make sure that we can take care of the earth and be connected, that's how we make sure that all of us can continue to live here together and really be happy and healthy. Can anyone share with me, do you have a memory of when you were outside in nature doing something that you really had fun and felt connected to? Oh, I love that.
I go berry hunting
You
and
go berry hunting too? What kind of berries?
sometimes I go apple hunting, but this time I go wood. I go apple hunting. And I saw they say it's a golden apple. Yellow apple. And then I saw
So I used to go to the beach and I used to buy the seasoning and I used to keep it as my pet and I used to give it some salt water by adding some water, salt and some water. Two things. Once I was with my friend Micah and my dad and Micah's dad, and we did this thing called King of the Mountain, where we would try to get up a sand dune as quick as we could, and try to get people off the sand dune. And so it was just like this one specific memory of when Micah pushed me down, and I went as a log, and I started just rolling down the dune.
Oh my goodness, that sounds fun. What about you?
I like to go mushroom.
Maybe I think we have two friends on that side also.
Oh,
Want to share?
Odinson would like to know why the strawberries in the wild are small, but they're big in the store. So what's the main story?
Because they harvest them.
So there are all different types of strawberries. So even though you see the big strawberry in the store, that one has grown somewhere else. And scientists have also helped to make it the size that it is. So you could grow wild strawberries, which are small. Like sometimes even wild blueberries are smaller than those really big blueberries that you see in the store. You know, the kind that are like the size of your eye. They've been helped along.
Well, from you.
I was about to ask,
Go ahead.
what, like, the dinosaurs are like, have they been made? Like dinosaurs, the giant creatures and snakes.
How were they made? Well, we go into evolution and I think the whole earth is connected And depending on, well, I guess the real answer is we don't really know. The scientists can guess, but because people weren't around then, we don't know for sure. So what we know is from scientists who found different bones of dinosaurs, and they study different animals and things today. And they actually think, some scientists think that dinosaurs actually turned into, what kind of animals, do you know?
I know the giant snake. I know the big spider.
Yeah, some of the big things got smaller. Dinosaurs, they think, might be related to birds, actually.
That's the T-Rex.
That's a whole nother book.
And the rest.
Well, I want to thank you all so much for having us here today. I wonder if our special guests want to share a little bit about what do you hope all of our students know or are thinking about Indigenous Peoples Day?
Well, Indigenous Peoples Day, I think, is a day to honor the land that we walk on. It's so very important to take care of our land. Our land is why we exist today. It's a part of who we are. And just as we care for ourselves, right, we all love ourselves, right? And so we must love the land that we walk on, and we must take care of it. If we don't, it's going to get sick, and it's not going to be healthy, right? So we have to take care of the land, and I hope that you do that and you think about that every day. And also think about the peoples who have been, practicing this way of life for thousands of years. I mean, Indigenous people, we today are still trying to protect the land. There's so many different things going on with our land, and we're always trying to strive and protect it and keep it together. So just think about the land on these days.
And I think if you want to do something that's really fun, that's outdoors, you can go berry picking with your family and friends. You can go to the water. You can learn about different types of trees and birds and all types of things. Those are all things that you should celebrate. And you should think about how many people, how many ancestors you have that have helped you and your family to be where they are today. And be grateful for them, and to just maybe have a slice of pie while you're thinking about it.
So before we go, I just want to ask and see, I'm so happy we heard a lot from different friends here. Is there anyone who didn't raise your hand and say anything yet who wants to share something with us? Anyone who didn't get to say anything yet who does want to?
Joshua, do you want to share?
Do you want to share something or ask a question? Or? Anyone else who? I just want to make sure, because sometimes when I was in school, I didn't know if I should say something, and then by the time I wanted to say something, it was over, and then I didn't get to say anything. So I just want to make sure anyone who does want to share something. You're good? Okay. Well, thank you so much, everyone, for having us. Oh.
Just wanted to share that you can swim.
Do you like to swim in a pool, or did you swim ever in an ocean or a pond, or where do you swim? In a pool? My two kids just learned how to swim this last summer, and it was really hard, but really cool to watch them be able to do that. So good job.
I have a pool in my backyard, but it's closed. And when I went to the ocean in the summer, I swam to the sand bar, but with a life jacket.
Yes.
Once I met you,
When?
on Ocean Centers.
Oh, I remember that. That was cool. Okay. All right. I see we have four more friends who want to add something, and then we'll do 4 more comments, and then our friends probably have to move on to the 5. Okay, 5.
No, that's bathroom.
Bathroom. Okay, sorry.
I was going to say, today, I have these people, fixing the top of the house, like birds, break the top of it and then
Yeah.
make a mess. Yes, that happened.
They're fixing it today.
Yes,
I'll
and
keep my fingers across.
My owner is fixing the inside. He fixed the lights, fixed the upstairs when the upstairs they move, and there's a lot of rats, a lot of bad bugs.
It's good to fix it.
I think it's new.
You're good. You're good. Yeah.
Me?
Yeah.
So I used to go to the pool with my mom. What is that? 5 feet.
That's very deep.
Yeah, and I cannot swim at all. I was drowning. My mom just.
Well, over the summer, the city started doing free swimming lessons for everyone in the family, kids, grown-ups, grandparents. So we can follow up if you ever want to do some swim lessons. Just make sure you're comfortable.
Please sign me. I was telling her not to take me to the pool ever again.
No, just like
Well, there was one time I was and I had my phone out. I was taking a picture of the sky because it was beautiful, right? It was like not that nighttime, it was like in the morning light. And then me and my brother saw something like flying in the sky. It wasn't like a bird or anything, it was like a big eagle.
oh my goodness.
A big what? I've never seen an eagle. Like, where do you eagle?
Me? I live in Roxbury.
It's like really big.
Well, that's where my friends.
In Roxbury?
Yeah, they didn't me. Just smacked me in the back of my head.
Well, thank you so much, everyone, for having us. This was so fun. Really love seeing you all.
Can we do the big thank you?
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Our kids are so smart. They are brilliant. They're curious. They're ready to learn more about just about any subject. And it's so important that in our schools, we're also sharing with them their own cultures and cultures that are reflect the diversity of all of Boston. And so I'm really thankful to our superintendent and all of our staff at the Boston Public Schools and teachers for really making sure we're building our education in a way that's engaging, inclusive, and really brings out the best of all of our young people. This has now become a little bit of a tradition. Last year we also read a different book, and I try wherever I can to get into the classrooms, but especially on days when it's about learning about a culture that not everyone might be familiar with, having a book and being able to share a story is often the best way for kids to get connected, and they always have great questions afterwards. And as you can see in this classroom, they are so smart and have a lot of ideas of their own to share as well. So I'm always happy to be in our schools and so excited to see all of our young people across the city growing and learning and reaching their full potential. We were here today talking a little bit about the history and culture of Indigenous peoples who were first in this country and who continue to be leaders in our community today, and also the sense of importance that really stewarding the land and ensuring we are living in relationship with all of the different peoples and hi mom. Anyway, we are trying to steward the land and ensure that all the living beings together continue to sustain everyone on this earth. And that's a very real and very relevant lesson today as we continue to see the impacts of climate change, major storms, and natural disasters everywhere. There's a reminder that many cultures have had a practice of ensuring that we're living much more in harmony with the land, and there are lessons to draw on how we can extend those lessons today.
I think it's super important for children to read books like these because it reminds them that first, that Native people are here, Indigenous peoples are here, because more often than not, Native people have been erased from history, and especially in this state where our history is very, very old and very deep and very harmful. I think it's super important to have these kind of conversations, especially with our young ones who are very lucky to be part of a generation that gets to talk about Native history a little more than I did, or maybe you did. So it's beautiful to be able to be in the room and have these kind of conversations with them.
I think it's really important for our young people to learn about Indigenous peoples and the histories that the tribes of each of our regions have. As a member of a tribe from the Plains, it's even more important to be able to be in a city and to know that the children that I work with, that my families who live here and go to school here can also be seen, feel included, even if they are also from tribes who are beyond the borders of Massachusetts. And to learn about our fellow Indigenous brothers and sisters is a really important thing for those young people to know, and for all children to really understand the true scope of history, and to be able to grow up and reconcile complex identities and histories and grow into stronger civic participants, and hopefully take pride and take part in all facets of our city.